Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building this contact section where when you scroll down you get this beautiful logo that rotates. There's also some form fields and this cool button, so stick around to see how this works. If you haven't already checked out my video on making this nav bar and this other hero section, so this flavors, this scroll animation, this section here with the lotties, and this moving can, and this hero, and this nav bar, all these are part of my series, so check those videos out first. I'll link them in the description and in the card at the top right. Okay, let's get started on making this contact section. So the first thing that I'm going to do is drag in a div block, give it a class of contact section, and I'm going to give it a height of 92 VH. Now again, VH is viewport height, so 100 VH would take up 100% of the screen height, right? So 92 is 92% of it. We're leaving this extra space so that, let me scroll down and show you. We're leaving this extra space so that we can have this logo pop up there. As you can see here, there's a bit of a space there. So there's 92 VH. I am going to make it set flexbox on it. Give it a background color of this red. There. The next thing that I want to do is drag in a heading. Gonna get this heading, class of contact heading. Make it pretty big, 70 pixels. Alright. Change the font, Montserrat. Gonna make it a bit bolder, white, and there. Let's call this contact us. There we go. Now the next thing that we want to do is drag in some text, some paragraph text. Not this much, we only want it to be like, yep, just even smaller than that actually. There we go. I'm gonna give this a class of contact text. Montserrat, same thing, I think. Make it light instead. White, and make the font size a bit bigger, like 20 pixels. Now, because we need some space between these two pieces of text, I'm gonna give some margin bottom to this heading. Maybe like 30 pixels. There we go. So there's like some space between the two. I'll also make this text fully lowercase if you go to this more type options. So there we go. And I'll get rid of that comma that's bothering. There we go. Okay. Now the next thing we want to do is this form here. So I'm gonna get rid of this. There. The next thing we want to do is this form. So I am going to drag in a div. I'm gonna call this div contact form wrapper. Give it a width of 40%, and then I'm gonna drag in the actual form block. So just scroll down, form block, put it in here. There we go. Class of contact form, display flex, vertical. Okay. The next thing that I want to do is go inside this form and inside this other form div, right, and grab the field label. I'm going to give this a class of contact form field. Oh, not that one. This is the label. Let's go back to this text field. Contact form field. change the placeholder text. So the first thing that we want to ask for is the email and change the type to email. Then I want to give it some padding. So 30 pixels to the top and to the bottom. 26 pixels to the left, and that's it. There you go. Placeholders, email, the same thing to this one. Give this the same class, so contact form field. There we go. Change the font, so Open Sans, lighter, make it, give this a border radius so that it's kind of rounded towards the edges. Maybe not that much, maybe like 5 pixels. And then we want a drop shadow, so scroll down to box shadows, add one, so 6 pixels, 13 maybe, and change this to 0.2 to 20, really subtle. This one should also have a, so this is comment, this is the name, this we're going to say tell us more, there. I'm also going to give this a width of 100% and have the form also have a width of 100%, that way, yep, okay, perfect. Now the next thing that we want to do is change this, so call this contact form label. We're gonna give this a font of Open Sans again, make it white, or actually, yeah, we don't need these labels, right? I should know that. Okay, there we go. Don't need these labels. I think I'm gonna make the font size a bit bigger. 20 pixels? 20. Yep, that looks good. I think I'm gonna give this some margin top, the contact form wrapper. Maybe not that much. Yep, like that, just so that there's some spacing between the text and this. Then the last thing that I want to do is get rid of this submit button. And we're gonna go grab the submit button, the button that we already have, this button up here, right? Grab the wrapper. And I'm just gonna place it inside of here. And what we're gonna do is we are going to grab this form, set flex on that too, make it vertical and to the center, like that. Then I'm gonna grab this button, and the only thing that we want to change is the background color. So we want, or the ripple color, right? So we want to change it from this red that it's at right now. If we scroll down here, this red that it's at right now, to this blue. Now, if you want to know how to make this button, check out my video on the hero section. I will link that in the top right too. Now the only thing left to do is a small thing, so I just want to add some margin to the bottom of here too. 20 pixels looks good to me. Let's type something in. There we go. I think this looks good. The next thing to do is, of course, to build this animation. So here's how we're going to do that. The first thing that you want to do is set a scroll animation on this section. So we're going to call this contact section scroll. But of course, before we do that, we have to get the actual logo. So I am going to drag this logo inside our section, right? And I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to call it contact logo. And then I am going to give it a width of 150 pixels, so it's relatively big. And then I am going to set this contact section to position relative. And I'll explain in a minute why I'm doing that. So I'm going to go back to this contact section, set contact logo, set that to position relative, and then position absolute. What am I saying? Okay, so now what this does is that when I'm in position absolute, I need to have something with position relative so that it's positioned inside of this and in respect to this contact section. Otherwise, it's going to go just to the body element. So now that I have this done, the now thing that we have to do is, of course, the animation. So I'll go back to my interactions panel, grab this, and I'm going to click on this contact logo. And at 0%, I wanted to have moved 0 viewport width. Now what this means is that it's like at its original spot, but when we reach this particular point, I wanted to have moved fully across the screen. So I wanted to go negative actually, so that it goes this way and not that way. And I'm going to put this at about 45%. That way, like, it happens, and then the user, so for example, if I scroll through here, right, like that. Now what I want to do is add some rotation to it. So I'm going to select this again, and instead of hitting move, I'm going to hit rotate this time. I'm going to hit 300 degrees of rotation, right? And then when we reach this 45%, I want the rotation to be 0 degrees. So if we hit live preview and click on this, there we go. Let me hit save, and then I'm gonna hit when element is fully visible. That way it doesn't start when we're like still here. I want it to start when it's fully visible. So now if we hit preview and we look at our animation, and that's not working, and I don't know why. Okay, let's see. What happened? Okay, maybe hit when element starts entering. Let's see now. There we go. Yep, just like this. Okay, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all those things, and of course follow me on Instagram. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.